So it is Pittsburgh and New Jersey in a win-or-go-home matchup from Canton, Ohio, and Caroline Pineda is on the field with Generals head coach and Mike Riley.
Coach, your offense is coming off its best game of the season. How do you continue that momentum against this Pittsburgh defense?
Well, I'm excited about that. We finally showed a little bit more than we've been doing all year, and we absolutely need it today. We need to continue to get better. This is really a neat playoff atmosphere, and frankly, we want to hang around Canton a little longer. Yeah.
You emphasize the importance of special teams in this matchup. How do you win that today?
Oh, boy, we've got to really cover kicks. They've got great returners. They've impacted a number of games this year with their returns, so we're going to have to cover kicks real well.
Thanks, Coach. Jack?
Caroline, Coach, thank you. And Coach was awesome talking special teams. He's passionate about it. These returns a week ago, pretty sweet.
Yeah, these returns are special. You see Josh Simmons right here with the fake reverse. And again, this is a kickoff. When this guy gets tackled, they're just one first down away from being in the scoring zone. You see Cam Eccles-Looper right here just taking the football through the heart of the kickoff team for the Philadelphia Stars and goes all the way. I love returns in this league. I love the fact that coaches have to truly think about and game plan how they're going to handle kickoffs. Should be a great one today.
Ray Horton on the opposite sideline. He is used to high-pressure football, won 3 Super Bowls in the NFL, once as a player, twice as a coach, and he feels like this team has been in playoff mode. They already had to win to put themselves in this position, and now they need to win to get themselves into playoff weekend, which is just 1 week from today.
Absolutely, Jack. This Maulers team, they want to keep this game close, hold on, and then make some plays in the passing game or return game, get their guys in space if this game is close later on.
Chris Blewett send us deep, and Cam Eccles-Looper, who had that 85-yard kickoff return for a touchdown we just showed you last week against Philly, is back deep to receive. One of these two teams will have their season end today. Who will it be? A couple great defenses. Could be a slugfest on a Saturday afternoon. They share this hub city in Canton, Ohio. A couple of players we talked to said we're like cousins. We root for them when we're not playing against them. But today, they are the enemy.
Yeah, they're going to get it on today.
Eccles-Looper from just outside the 10 has a nice lane, and then he is stopped up right after he crosses the 30. That's Dale Warren, who stuffed him right on the spot before he could reach the 35-yard line. So DeAndre Johnson, the starting quarterback, fresh off a great game to beat Philly, started 6 games this year. He's 3-3 as a starter. Played for Lane Kiffin at Florida Atlantic. He is fast, too. Ran a 4.37 at his pro day. Protects the ball great. He's thrown 101 passes this year and 0 interceptions to his name.
A very explosive passer, Jack. And his ability to run the football forces 11 on 11 football from opposing defenses. Let's see if he can keep that streak of being successful in the pocket up today.
Johnson hands, but there was movement before the opening snap of the game offensively.
Full start. Number 60, offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
It's Cam Carter right there, the left tackle. Just getting a little start a little early. Oh, 66, my apologies. Mr. Young right there getting started on those double teams in the outside zone. Just jumped the gun a little bit.
Johnson flips it to Darius Victor, and he has been their star. You see why as he crosses midfield, gets his first carry of the game. He is thick. It's all lower body when you're talking about Victor, and here he goes.
All lower body. You're going to get a down block here with just a pitch play, and just watch how he reads the blocking of his offensive lineman. And once Vito of Darius Victor gets into the second level, he is tough to bring down for any defender in this league, especially defensive backs. Great run.
91 carries, over 500 yards, third in USFL rushing. Johnson hands it off, Here's Newman, who has some speed, and he is stopped up. Great play made there. Eli Walker, he's a hitter in the secondary for Pittsburgh.
Good play by Eli Walker right there, just being a guy in space and making a sure tackle. You're going to see the ball carrier right here, Warren Newman, as he tries to turn the corner. Eli Walker right there, and he gets there with authority. It's a great tackle.
Second and 8. Johnson slings it, trying to get the ball into the hands of his running back through the pass game. It's Darius Victor, and right through his arms, that's going to set up a 3rd and long.
Yeah, big-time 3rd down coming up for this Generals offense. They would like to stay on schedule. They'd like to get 4 yards on first, 4 yards on second, and have a manageable 3rd down. This is 3rd and 8, a situation they don't always like to be in because it forces straight drop-back passing from this offense.
Two wide receivers to the left of Johnson, one to the right, and Victor, as he does so often, stays in the game, and they're going to call a timeout and think about this 3rd down and 8.
Get Kingston in the game.
Kingston, go.
All right, here we go. We'll still run the same play. 21 scat, deuce right, 21 scat, toaster, okay? You guys good? Up the seam now, the shallow's big on this. Deuce right, 21 scat, toaster. Did I call
So
31?
Jack, you hear 20.
Did I call 31?
21 scat coaster.
Huh?
I'm assuming this is going to be an empty pass play. Scat is the protection, meaning there's not going to be a running back in the game protecting or being part of the blocking unit. You also heard him remind DeAndre Johnson to be aware of the crosser or the shallow crosser with deeper routes around it.
He wanted Kingston Davis in the game at running back as well. Johnson looking downfield, has a wide receiver, takes a big shot, but catches the ball anyway. It's Warren Newman. What a grab it was before Keith Gibson put a big stick on him.
Mike Riley, he told DeAndre Johnson to check the seams. You're going to see Warren screaming down the seams right there in the slot. He told DeAndre, check the seams and be aware of the shallow crosser. DeAndre Johnson's eyes went straight to the seam, and he throws a dime to Warren Newman up the seams for an explosive pass play.
Warren Newman's touched the ball twice. He's taking a couple big shots. Hands it off here, trying to get a little bit of payback with their big-bodied running back, and Victor, who is trying to work his way forward inside the 15-yard line. That's Tarpley who made the tackle.
Yeah, Arnold Tarpley, big-time safety for this Pittsburgh Maulers defense. He's involved in a lot of the safety rotations coming down to be able to stop that guy right there, Darius Victor, or we like to call him Vito, who I believe is the foundation for this Generals offense.
Second and 8, give it right back to Vito, and Vito is met by the middle of that defense. Boogie Roberts getting good push. Von Taylor Jr. as well, there to stop him.
Another big 3rd down for this Generals offense. The last 3rd down, they got the explosive play to Warren Newman down the seam. Now they're into the red zone, closer to the goal line. The field shrinks a little bit. Be alert for the legs of DeAndre Johnson to come into play here.
Johnson has to step up in the pocket. He can run, he will run, and he is stopped up at the 9. So this is going to be a 4th down decision, and it appears they are going to settle for this field goal attempt.
Yeah, just big-time pressure right here. Watch 94, big Olive Sakopalu right here. Watch how he just takes the guard, swims him, and he's already in the backfield, forcing DeAndre Johnson to step up and not go through his reads and not have an opportunity to throw the ball in the end zone.
Tizino read it, he made the play, and that brings on Nick Skiba, who has been a great kicker, and something the Coach Riley prides himself on is finding good special teamers. You see why it gives the Generals an early 3-0 lead. So a couple teams that share this home city of Canton, Ohio, going at it 3-0 General. So it is 3-0 at New Jersey to start the game, but Caroline is tracking an injury update down on the sideline.
Jack, Cam Eccles-Looper went right into the tent after that opening return. He took off his pads and is getting attention on that left shoulder. He re-aggravated an injury from last week, but he told me he will be back. He gave me the thumbs up, said he's good, but he's still in the tent right now.
There it was, Caroline. Thank you very much, and that is a very key player for them. Remember, they're trying to replace USFL MVP Cavante Turpin, who is now with the Dallas Cowboys, had a great season with the Dallas Cowboys, so they need Cam Eccles-Looper come out of that tent.
Absolutely, not just special teams wise, Jack, but offensively, he provides a spark.
And this kick is going to roll out of bounds. You heard Coach Riley talk about the squib, and he didn't want to kick deep to Simmons, who leads the USFL in kickoff return yardage.
By rule,
but
the
that
ball
doesn't
be
help.
placed at the 50-yard line. First down.
Well, now, again, when you have a team that's nervous for the returns, you know, for the returns of the Pittsburgh Maulers, you're going to get these squibs. You're going to get the opportunity to kick the ball out of bounds. But what happens is it's a penalty, and it gives the Maulers the ball at the 50-yard line. You see Nick Skiba right there upset with himself. But that's what happens when you have guys that can take the ball from one goal line to the other. It forces game plan adjustments by opposing coaches.
So Troy Williams gets the start. He was not the day one starter for Pittsburgh, but he won the locker room. He won the job throughout the course of the season. Here he is trying to get this team into the playoffs. Williams, protection's been an issue. Protection stays an issue, and he goes down on the very first offensive play. Toby Johnson, the man in the middle, and he can punish offensive lines.
Big Toby Johnson. This is the story of this game. Can they protect Troy Williams? You see big boy right there, Toby Johnson. I call him the immovable object, but he just pushes the pocket and is just taking the center and putting him on skates right there. Great extension as he brings Troy Williams down to the ground. But this is the issue with this Maulers offense. If they can't protect the quarterback, they really can't do much offensively.
30 sacks allowed in 9 games, worst in the league. Here's Williams getting it out of hands quickly and successfully. That's Mason Stockey with the grab and working his way down the sideline. But Troy Williams, he really has energized this offense that can't protect like we're talking about. Been a bright spot of an offense really as you look at season 1, season 2. It's not one of the premier offenses in the USFL, but he has been the bright spot.
Yes, he has, and you see that number right there. Only 3 interceptions. Okay, he takes great care of the football, and what happens is, Jack, because he doesn't turn the football over much, it gives this Maulers team a chance later on in games.
3rd and 12. Williams looking down the sideline, and that pass is caught. It was bobbled for a second, and then Josh Simmons able to bring it in. The return man working the sideline with some success.
Yeah, great success right here. This is a honey hole shot. You're going to see an outside release right down the sideline right there, and you high-low the cornerback. Great throw by Troy Williams right there, fitting it in between the cornerback and the safety on a cover 2 defense. Almost dropped it, but he held on to it.
Pittsburgh does have some talented weapons on the outside of wide receiver. Not the biggest group of receivers, but they are very fast at that spot. Here's Groshek, kind of a pounding running back for Pittsburgh. He's able to work his way forward here for 7. So here's what the Pittsburgh starting offense looks like, brought to you by Progressive. How do you see it?
Yeah, I see this Pittsburgh Maulers offense. Obviously, they got to get the ball downfield, but it's going to come down to Terry Poole, right? Terry Poole is one of the only offensive linemen on this offensive line that can go one-on-one pass pro. If he can hold up in one-on-one pass pro, that can create some leverage so they can double team guys like Big Toby Johnson in the middle.
Williams gives it. Groshek has that first down. Groshek, team captain. They said he brings a calmness to this offense. That was DeJuan Hines who made the tackle. But Groshek gets inside the 20.
Yeah, really important for this Maulers offense to get this run game going. Just a little inside zone play here from Garrett Groshek. But watch how the offensive line is firing off, creating the angle so that they can create the push and get some of these big guys up front to be in the lap of the linebackers. It's a good start by this offensive line.
And there is a penalty marker before the snap. Looked like Pittsburgh might have left early.
Prior to the snap, false start. Number 68, offense, 5-yard penalty. First down.
Yeah, Terry Poole, I think he might have a radio in his helmet. He might be listening to the broadcast. He showed, he heard me call him out and say how great he has to play and how good of a player he is. Then he jumps off sides or false starts. I know Coach Ray Horton doesn't like those pre-snap penalties.
And Poole, he was all USFL last year for New Jersey. Now he's on the opposite side with Pittsburgh. Let go by the Generals, scooped up by the Maulers, and this is complete on the outside. It's Trey Walker, and Walker with a little shake and takes it down to the 11.
And again, this is what you have to do from a schematic standpoint to help this offensive line out, is get the ball out of your quarterback's hands as fast as you possibly can. Troy Williams did a good job right there of staring down a defender, just coming down, ready to get a big hit on him. Gets the ball out quickly to one of his playmakers. You get a first down. Oh, close to a first down.
No work to do. 2nd and 3, pistol look. Williams steps up in the pocket, delivers a strike for a touchdown right down the middle of that defense to Isaiah Henney, his favorite target, and Henney has another touchdown.
Wow, great protection by this offensive line. A good route by Isaiah Henney, the speed playmaker on the outside for the Pittsburgh Maulers. You're just going to see him, just a little seam route as he gets over the defender, splits the safeties. The ball has to be thrown on time so that he doesn't get led into the linebackers. Troy Williams throws a dart right here on a double post concept. Isaiah Henney with the big time play in the end zone. Touchdown.
So a lot made about these two defenses early on. It's the offense is putting on a little show as we have the old slip and kick here. That is no good.
Wow. Chris Blewett. Blewett, can I say that? But here's that touchdown, Jack. Isaiah Henney mixing it up. Troy Williams on the throw. We'll be back. We got a good one here in Canton.
So Chris Blewett, who has been good for them in the kicking game, and remember, he replaced Nate Herlahai, who was just 2 for 4 in the first couple of games, but a little slip and slide here on the extra point.
Yeah, just a little slip and slide on his plant foot. You can see it right there. You saw the rubber pellets come up. And for a kicker, if his plant foot isn't secured, he really doesn't have much control over the kick, as you can see. Chris Blewett blew the kick. Can I say that, Jack? Is that something I can say?
I think you can. And Schema, he might have slipped on the one,
the kickoff.
The kickoff that went out of bounds as well. Slippery turf. From the 10, Cameron Eccles-Looper checks back into the game, and Eccles-Looper breaks a tackle, makes a spin, and crosses the 35. So it was a nice opening drive for the Generals offense. We went straight down the field, hit that nice shot down the seam to Warren Newman, set up the field goal, and back onto the field they come.
But again, you look at this last drive for the New Jersey Generals, it started with getting the run game going. It started with Darius Victor running the football in between the tackles. Then the passing game opened up. We started this game by talking about the foundation of this Generals offense is running the football and controlling the line of scrimmage. If they do that, it just unlocks what DeAndre Johnson can do.
Johnson, play action. Wants it all, looking deep down the field, covered well, and it falls incomplete. There was a little contact downfield with Tarpley. Alonzo Moore couldn't get through him, and the ball falls incomplete.
Yeah, Arnold Tarpley, again, great coverage. I thought DeAndre could have thrown this ball just a little sooner and drove it into his guy. You see just an out and up by Alonzo Moore. He was open right before he got to the safety, but the longer you waited, the longer the safety has to come into play. See, DeAndre just threw it far as he possibly can. so nobody can catch the ball.
Fake it tackles Looper, and Johnson is spun down hard, ripped to the ground by Terry Beckner. So there's a lot made about Boogie Roberts, Alive Sagapolu, but Terry Beckner has come on strong right around the midway point of this season.
Terry Beckner, you see him right here as a 5 technique. As the pullers pull, he follows the pullers and makes the quarterback makes the tackle on the quarterback, DeAndre Johnson, in the backfield. We talked to Boogie Roberts this week. He said, we call big Terry Beckner, we call him Unk. That's the nickname that they like to call him. Big time play.
Here's Johnson, back to the air. Now he scrambles, makes one cut and crosses the 40, so he's gonna help get some of that yardage back. It's Tornadin making the stop. Bryce Tornadin with a good tackle there, and here comes the punt group.
Yeah, here goes the punt group, but again, you didn't see Darius Victor run the ball any on that drive. You would like to have seen it, but just on that play, you saw the crossers, you see the vertical stretch from the guys on the outside with some crossers as a check down for DeAndre Johnson. Just didn't see anybody open as the Maulers drop 8. 4th down.
It's the problem with going to that pass early, is you never get the football in the hands of Victor, and you got to punt it away. This punt drifts inside the 15. Fair caught right there by Isaiah Henney. So we got a 3-point game. Pittsburgh leads first quarter.
So when you look at it, right here.
So the first drive for Pittsburgh, pretty smooth. Has not always been that way, though, for this offense.
No.
Sacks allowed, 30.
No, it hasn't.
The most in the USFL. Got some issues up front, so the pass yards per game last in the league. That really goes hand in hand. Touchdown passes last in the USFL. It all sounds like it's making sense when you can't protect. And remember, it was the Generals that gave them the biggest fit all season with those 5 sacks, the season high. But first drive different. Why? What worked?
Yeah, it's been different. And Troy Williams has been getting the ball out of his hands faster. When you get the ball out of your hands fast, it gives the guys up front a lot more confidence to go do work. A lot of pre-snap motions, just keeping the Generals' defense off kilter.
Williams hands it off. Andre London is met and stopped. It's a battle even just to get a yard there.
Shalom Luani is hurt.
Wow. Injury down. It was Bryson Young who made the tackle, and then Shalom Luani, who was slow back up to his feet, and he is a key player, all USFL player.
Wow.
A season ago.
Yeah, you hope he's okay. That was a really, really big hit coming up from the safety position. You'll see right here, the unblocked guy, a little helmet-to-helmet action right there. You don't like to see anybody's arms kind of stuck like that. You hope Luani is okay.
And anybody you talk to from New Jersey, he's one of the first players defensively they point to as a leader. And he has made so many plays. Every time you call a Generals game, you better get used to saying Luani, because he is all over the field. And these are not the deepest rosters in the world, so it may be complicated to find somebody that you trust back there at the safety spot to bring in for him here.
Yeah, absolutely. You got Dravon Askew Henry. He's a guy that's played safety in the past for this Generals team, but you're not going to have that same physical presence as Shalom Luani. I mean, that guy, when he comes downhill in a hurry. And so you just hope he's okay. Maybe we'll see him later.
So it's Paris Ford and Askew Henry, as you said, in the game at safety and pre-snap movement. Looks like Pittsburgh up out of the stance early once again.
Illegal snap, number 58, offense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Braden Patton, the center right there. Looks like a little double clutching action right there from the center. Up, you see just that little double clutch. Can't do that.
Toby Johnson might make me double clutch once or twice throughout the game as well. 2nd and 14. And how about the start for Troy Williams? 4 for 4, 50 yards, and the touchdown pass straight down the field they went. And that was Henney's 3rd receiving touchdown of the season. Now an early snap here, and Williams just dives on it like it's a fumble. What is going on up front with Patton?
Those are the things that I know frustrate Coach Ray Horton. That just can't happen. Don't know what happened on that play.
Number 90. Yeah, got it. Yeah. Offside. Defense, number 90. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Okay, let's see what they're talking about right here. Big Toby Johnson got a little bit of a jump. Once he jumped, the center snapped the football.
Good play.
That's why it was early. That's a good play by the center to get those 5 yards back.
The old 5-yard trade.
There you go.
Back to 2nd and 9 we go. Isaiah Henney across the formation. Williams hands it off. London, nowhere to go. So that defense swallows him up as soon as he had the football. Toby Johnson still upset at himself for the penalty, and he got some payback.
Toby Johnson, again, the immovable object. I mean, the guy can't be moved on the double team. You see right here, this is just a little inside play, but you see the guard running to his own guy. And you see that a lot with this Pittsburgh Maulers team. You see 9 guys doing things right, you know, and maybe 2 guys that are a little bit off. You see on that play right there, that run had no chance because the blocking unit was blocked it all messed up.
Empty look on a 3rd and 9. Williams trying to escape the rush, and he cannot. He goes down right there. It's Colin Hill, and Colin Hill was phenomenal a week ago. Forced a fumble that he recovered himself late in that win. And he gets another sack.
Colin Hill, one of the big-time pass rushers for this Generals team. You see him right here just off the edge as this pocket caves in. And again, the Maulers love to stay in empty, meaning there's no help for the tackles in the backfield with the running back. And so 5 one-on-ones across that offensive front. This is what this team and this offensive line looked like in previous weeks.
This is a high punt from the goal line. Penalty marker comes out. Do they make contact there with the punter as this ball is still rolling down to about the 31, and the punter is down. That's Matt Mingle, who is still on the ground in the end zone.
Had that 83-yard punt last week. He's a
Personal foul,
from the
roughing the kicker. Number 45, defense. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot with an automatic. First down.
Yeah, he ran right into the plant leg. They're going to get you for roughing the kicker every single time. And you hope Matt Mingle is okay, being that when the punter is kicking the football, his plant leg, this definitely leaves him in a vulnerable position.
We'll check on him and come right back. It's a 3-point lead for Pittsburgh. Well, this was good to see just moments ago. Matt Mingle making his way over to the tent under his own power out of UCLA. And remember, he set off that rocket a week ago, that 83-yard punt against Michigan, flipping the field. So he has a great leg on him, and hope that we will see him again in this game. And it's a massive play in this game because it keeps Pittsburgh offensively on the field and sets them up out across the 25. Williams swings it, stocky, turns those shoulders downfield and gets it to the 35-yard line.
Wow. Colin Hill, to see this guy running all over the field, rushing the passer, running down receivers. You see Troy Williams right there, again, helping this offensive line out, getting the ball out of his hands really fast, run fake, and getting the ball on the edges and forcing this Generals defense to run from sideline to sideline and make plays.
30 seconds to play in this first quarter. A little double reverse action here. Get it to Bailey Gaither, and there is nowhere for Gaither to go. He's trying to get behind his quarterback there, and Troy Williams, who is leading the way or trying to, but the Generals defense made the stop.
I want you to watch Hercules Mataafa right there. As you can see, he keeps leverage. He stays outside and forces the ball to turn back up so his guys can rally and make the tackle. Hercules Mataafa, this dude is having a great year. One of the leaders for this Generals defense.
And that will take us to the end of the first. 6-3, Pittsburgh on top. The touchdown from Williams to Isaiah Henney, the lone touchdown of the first quarter. On to the second in the other side of the field in just a couple moments.
This Pittsburgh Maulers offense, they were doing some damage in the first quarter. You see Troy Williams right here finding the honey hole in this cover 2 defense and throwing a strike to Josh Simmons down the sideline, then getting the ball out of his hands faster getting the ball in the hands of his playmakers as fast as possible, giving this offensive line some confidence, and then just a dart in the end zone for a touchdown to Isaiah Henney, one of those explosive playmakers on the outside. This is what this drive needs to look like for the Pittsburgh Maulers. Ball out fast, ball in the hands of your playmakers, go do work.
So now can they make the most of this Matt Mingle roughing the punter? Just moments ago, sets up a 3rd and 2. Williams taking his time, forced to hold the football, might end up working out. He scrambles and gets close to that line to gain, and they will give him that 1st down. So a little pump and go. He can do it.
Yes, he can. And again, those legs, those movement ability skills really attacks the defense, right? And when the defense wins on pass rush, as you can see, you're going to see my man Gaither come open right down the middle of the field to let this play happen. Troy just missed him. There he is back there, wide open in the middle of the field, but Troy just couldn't get his feet set to make that throw.
Williams taking his time, flushed, fires, and falls incomplete. He had a couple guys there, Henney as well as Matt Seibert, and the football falls incomplete.
Yeah, and this Generals defense, Ted Cottrell, defensive coordinator, sent a little bit of a blitz right here to just add a little anxiety to the blocking unit of the Pittsburgh Maulers. You see Troy get out of the pocket, can't really find anybody downfield as these Generals defensive backs, they stick to their receivers. I don't know, it's like the DB might have got there a little early, Jack.
I think DJ Daniel might have arrived about a second early there. And that was what Horton wanted to challenge. He was asking if he could. As the answer came in that he could not. That's Artavius Lynn. Falls incomplete. Penalty marker flies.
Got offsides.
Offside, number 55, defense. 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Colin Hill just leaving a little too early. But again, when you've had some of the success that this defensive line has had against this offensive line of the Pittsburgh Maulers, you kind of get antsy. See him right there on the left side of your screen, just getting off a little too early.
Second and 5, they'll run it, but Toby Johnson read it all the way, made the tackle pickup of only a yard there for Madre London.
Toby Johnson is so big, man. Oh my goodness, he just won't be moved. You see him in a shade, there he is right there in the middle of everything, and he just takes the guard, right? He said, look, Kobe Thomas, get out of my way. I'm going to go make the play because that's what I'm here to do. And he lets everybody know. But look, his jersey doesn't even come all the way down over that stomach right there, man. I love it.
And Toby Johnson wrecks just about every game you have of the Generals.
Absolutely.
And if you're not good on the interior of that offensive line, which they are not, look out. Look at this one. 3rd 4, pass complete, Trey Walker, 1st down.
And again, just a little slant, flat concept from this Maulers offense. It's a slant right here with a flat. And you're going to see Troy Williams just throw this ball in there in the first window. Trayvon Askew Henry a little hype for that tackle right there. But I know if I was the receiver, Trey Walker, I'd be getting up pointing at the 1st down for the Maulers.
Remember, Askew Henry came in for Shalom Luwani. Williams firing straight down the middle of the defense, and that is caught initially and then dropped. The hit put on by Askew Henry broke it up, and Seibert cannot hang on. Now he is shaken up.
See the throw right here from Troy Williams, just a little basic route. But see Chris Orr as his hand right before the ball gets to the receiver. Chris Orr doing a great job being in coverage, forcing a tough throw, an even tougher catch from Seibert.
These DBs have been putting some hits out there. Take a break. Well, we have seen some big hits and some shaken up players with just moments ago. Shalom Luwani making his way into the locker room. Let's check in with Caroline.
Jack, Shalom Luwani has officially been ruled out with a concussion. You see him there leaving the field. Another injury update on Maulers punter Matt Mengel. The athletic training staff told me he tweaked his left ankle. He is going to keep warming up and is going to try to punt the next time the Maulers are in that situation. Jack?
Caroline, thank you very much. And Siebert just went into the tent as well for Pittsburgh. This drive now continues. Williams to the outside, and that falls incomplete. It's already over 10 plays with this drive, over 7 minutes. The Pittsburgh's taken off the clock, now sets up a 3rd and 10.
And again, that's what the Maulers want to do offensively, right? They haven't been as explosive throughout the season as they would have liked. So they rely on possessing the football. They rely on going on 13, 14 play drives, getting points at the end of those drives, and creating more pressure on your offense to score points when you have the football.
Here's Williams, wants to run with it early and just lost his footing and falls down. Toby Johnson threw an arm out there to hit him. Not much contact. Williams kind of slipped.
Yeah, Williams slipped on that one, but this play was, they were trying to take a shot downfield, right, with all the backfield action and things like that. But to take a shot downfield, you have to be able to have the time to hold on to the football. Right there, Troy Williams just didn't have the time he needed to push the ball downfield.
So Siebert back into the game, as well as Matt Mengel here to punt. And Mengel toughing it out, has not affected that big leg of his, and puts it into the end zone. So the USFL on a USA, it is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Save when you bundle auto, home, or motorcycle insurance. A cruise through the Pro Football Hall of Fame, all the bus. It's the same room where John Madden said at nighttime, all those guys have a nice conversation with each other. Still my favorite line as it relates to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Canton, Ohio, one of my favorite trips on this USFL tour by far.
That is awesome, man. I've been here twice or 2 or 3 times now. I got to get my kids up here, man. I got to get them to see Canton, man. That's a great experience.
Got the playoffs next weekend, man.
Okay.
Come on back.
Okay. I don't know about that.
Hand it off here, Vito. And Vito, through contact, picks up a few.
Yeah, you got Boogie Roberts right there on the tackle from that zero technique. But again, this Generals offense right there, Darius Victor, he is the foundation. He is what this offense is predicated off of. When he has more touches and more rushing yards, they win the football game. When he doesn't get the ball that much and his rushing yards are down, they lose the football game. So the point of that I'm trying to make, Jack, is get Darius Victor the ball as much as you possibly can.
And you think they can tire out potentially this Pittsburgh defensive front as the game goes along?
Yeah, I really do. This offensive line of the Generals, they're big, they lay on you. They make you say uncle later on in games.
Here's Johnson trying to escape, and he finally just falls to the ground. Give credit to Boogie Roberts, who was going to work. Olive Sagapolu, one of his best friends, there to help him get Johnson on the ground.
Yeah, Boogie Roberts. I know he's excited right now, just in the middle of this Pittsburgh Maulers defense. Again, getting double teamed, getting triple teamed sometimes, finds a way, gets his hands on DeAndre Johnson. DeAndre tried to fight it, but just couldn't. You see the dance, young man. I like it. But he's also tired, Jack. That's why you see the heavy breathing for a 300-pound man.
You got to preserve yourself in that dance. 3rd 13, Johnson complete right over the middle and just falling to the ground as Cam Eccles looper. So give credit to Big Boogie Roberts, his 3rd sack of the season. Brings this series to a halt.
Yeah, Big Boogie Roberts and all of his friends, Olive Sagapolu, Nasir Player, all of those guys up front, they do a great job of just causing havoc in your blocking unit. And then they get you in 3rd and long, and then they play back on defensively and force you to throw underneath.
And now you have to punt to the best punt return man in the league, Isaiah Henney. Drifting right there at the 37, catches it, turns upfield, gets it out near midfield. He is electric. So Boogie, he needs a little oxygen over there, but he's having himself a day so far in this first half. There's the Boogie Groove. And it's a little different demeanor for the Generals. So Baltimore, they bring the show to Chicago. The Orioles, the Cubs, get the action started. MLB Sunday leadoff from Wrigley Field tomorrow, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time, exclusively on Peacock. I gotta tell you, man, I've watched more MLB games this year, maybe than ever. This new pitch clock, they got those pitchers on the mound. They got it just one after another, pitch. They're a little winded up there like Boogie Roberts on the mound. But it keeps that game moving. And plus, my Cincinnati Reds, the young guns,
they're falling out, huh?
Coming to life.
I like
Came out of nowhere. So first and 10 here for Troy Williams. Williams wants all of it and put a little too much on this throw and just sailed it. He's looking for Simmons down the field and couldn't get him the football.
Yeah, I know Troy Williams in this offense, they're just trying to back this Generals defense up a little bit. Double post concept right here. And he takes the shot over the top. Personally, I may have tried for Ishmael Hyman, number 14, doing the more shallow crosser. This team is going to have to hit some of those plays today just to back this Generals defense up.
Williams been getting that football out a little quicker. This was a dangerous pass, though. Lucky to see it fall incomplete. Paris Ford, hands on his helmet. He knew he could have picked that one.
Yeah, Troy Williams wishes he had this ball back. Very, very dangerous pass right here. You see Troy trying to throw this slant in the second window to Hyman, but cannot do that against this sticky coverage of the Generals defense.
So Pittsburgh offense, third down. Product of that offensive line, really. They have struggled on third down. 3rd and 10. Williams firing. Stocky brought down. Mike Bell Jr. tracking Stocky and made a great play.
Mike Bell, nickel linebacker for this Generals defense. His flexibility, his versatility, his ability to play linebacker. He can also play the alley where drop-down safeties play. And he can also run down a speedy tight end who's trying to run across a route and get the first down. And again, when he puts his hands on you, go down, short tackler for the Generals.
Like this. 4th and 5, they're going to go. And the Generals caught off guard. They're forced to use a timeout.
Now kick it.
Their offense is out there. I saw the quarterback.
I repeat,
You're gonna have to start taking some shots now. We call that Apache, and it's one-on-one to Zoe out there. You got to take it. Okay.
And as you can see right there, Coach Riley is telling DeAndre Johnson, when you get the one-on-one on the outside, take the shot is going to back the defense up a little bit. DeAndre is talking about protection. Can you add a play-action fake to it, which will keep a tight end in there? It'll also keep a back end to shore up my protection so I can throw the ball downfield. Great communication between quarterback and coach.
Got him with the old fake, go for it, force you to use a timeout. It's a good move. It's a classy move. Force him to use a T, and now on 4th and 5, you bring out Mingle and you punt it away. And Mingle cannot control it. Sends another into the end zone. Guess the leg's all right. It's a 3-point lead for Pittsburgh. Second quarter. Shoffley as well, who was the gold medalist, who is right there, stroke back. Also,
it's pretty cool primetime golf right there, man. I like that.
I like that LA Country Club, too.
Yeah.
What a venue. Johnson hands it. Victor up the middle, and he plows his way out across the 25.
And again, that's what you thought this offense for the Generals would look like most of the day. Darius Victor in the backfield with DeAndre Johnson getting the football and being decisive when he enters the line of scrimmage, as you saw in that play.
interesting decision as well. Trey Williams averaging over 5 yards per carry. They have rotated Darius Victor with Williams, but Williams inactive today. We didn't hear much about an injury. So trying to figure out exactly why that might be. As you see Vito, this may be one of the reasons, because they like Victor so much, as he makes his way out near the 40-yard line. Takes a group of defenders to get him on the ground. Reuben Foster leading the way.
Yeah, Darius Victor a lot more. You got a little pitch play right here with the pin down and just getting Darius Victor in space, running away from the strength of this Pittsburgh Maulers team, which is the defensive front, which is the linebackers Reuben Foster, Tizino, and those guys, Boogie Roberts. Getting a guy like that who's tough to bring down, getting him on the edge, creates an advantage and leverage in the run game for the Generals.
Mike Riley really liked Kingston Davis as well, who checks in here for Victor. And Kingston Davis gets the ball, and that football is loose at the end. They're going to say he was down first.
Now, again, you see Kingston Davis. Let's see if that ball came out for Kingston right there. See if that was a fumble. Running backs do not like to see the football on the ground. When we get up, we like to hand the ball back to the referee. His elbow looks like it was down. But it's interesting to see Kingston Davis in the game, backing up Darius Victor. To me, he seems like the same type of a runner, Jack. Right. Those guys that are physical. Trey Williams was the more of a change-up guy, speed guy, a guy affecting the game in the passing game.
They're trying to throw it here, but it's intercepted. It couldn't get past the safety who was down in the box. It's Tarpley. Arnold Trey Tarpley with the pick.
Wow. What a defensive play from this Ray Horton Jr. defense. Arnold Tarpley steps in the passing lane of a DeAndre Johnson. You see Tarp right there, right? It's a fake inside zone run game, RPO, throwing it to the receiver out here, right? As you can see, Tarpley not going for the fake, not being affected. It ran up in there a little bit, but had the wherewithal to stay in the passing lane and get the interception. This is a big-time play. This is how this Maulers team likes to play. They stay in it, they take the ball away from you, giving their offense multiple opportunities to score points.
That's the third pick of the year for Tarpley, the 12th interception of the season so far for Pittsburgh. Running with Madre London on first down. Toby Johnson where to meet him.
Again, just trying to capture the line of scrimmage, trying to push those big guys up front from the New Jersey Generals, Toby Johnson and company. I like to call them the immovable object. But this offensive line, they've been hot at times, they've been cold at times. Let's see if they can get more push in this run game.
Second and 7. Williams, pressure in his face, and he's flushed. Now he's got Hill chasing him to the boundary, and Colin Hill eventually just shoves him out of bounds.
And again, we've been talking about this offensive line all day. Now this is just a three-step drop. Three-step drop. And Troy Williams couldn't even find a passing lane because there was so much pressure up front. Just the floodgates open. Again, when he gets the ball out on time, when he gets the ball out quickly, it helps this offensive line out.
So a 3rd and 8 and a pass rush opportunity for the Generals. Williams gets it out of his hands quickly. Nice tackle made, though. It's Isaiah Henney with the grab, and Christian Tutt spinning him to the ground, and they're fighting for the football. They're going to say that Henney held on.
That's a good job by Christian Tutt. Just being in a position to make the tackle. Isaiah Henney, not just one of the fastest players on this Pittsburgh Maulers team. I can argue he's one of the fastest players in the entire USFL. To stay with him on a crossing route, guarding him 53 1/3 yards horizontally is very tough for any defender.
So they're going to try a field goal attempt here, and he has hit from 54. Big kick he has. Chris Blewett played his college football at Pitt, and now he is playing for the Pittsburgh Maulers, and they're going to use a timeout for this 59-yard attempt. I want to hear what this sounds like over there on the Mauler sideline.
Hey,
like
Mark.
Coach Ray Horton is a man. I was about to say. See what he's about to say.
Yeah, I know. Mark, is he good? Hey, they got a returner back there, Matt. Hey, Matt! They got a returner back.
Again, you hear Coach Ray Horton right there reminding Matt Mingle, the holder, that there is a returner. Christian Tutt, he's back there, so that guys can remember after the kick to cover.
And we have seen one of these return, and this snap goes over the head of Mingle. It's loose. Football is on the ground. Chris Blewett just dives on it to save a potential touchdown. It's Riley Lovingood, the snapper, who put one high, and he sailed it.
This could not have been a worse scenario for the Pittsburgh Maulers special teams unit. You see the snap right here goes right through Matt Mingle's hands and continues to roll into the Generals' territory. Paris Ford making the tackle on Chris Blewett. You see Ray Horton. That's not excitement, guys. That is him saying, what are we doing? How can that be? Missed opportunity for points for the Maulers, big-time opportunity for the Generals.
There were a lot of possibilities on that play, and a lot of them weren't very good. They had just saw the worst-case scenario. Here's Victor, and Victor is stopped up. Had Pittsburgh in the backfield there. Von Taylor making the tackle for loss.
Von Taylor doing a good job holding the edge.
Takes us to the 2-minute warning. So Pittsburgh, they were looking smooth until that snap through the hands of Mingle. Now they're in trouble. And coming up on the Arby's halftime show, you got head coach interviews, the play of the half, and a weekend preview, a little weekend betting preview, that is, from my guy Von Dalzell. He's going to get us right. Big weekend coming up, getting the playoff picture set for this chase to the USFL championship in season number 2.
See what the Generals have. They're set up in their own, set up in the Maulers' territory in scoring position.
2nd and 14. Johnson looking deep and firing. Coverage is there, and it's broken up. Really talented defensive backs for Pittsburgh. That time it was Mark Gilbert, who was stride for stride and broke it up, looking for Bowman.
Looks like we got a receiver down for the Generals. I think Alonzo Moore. Don't know what happened to him on that play. He's definitely in pain. See DeAndre Johnson and this Generals offense trying to make a play downfield of Brandon Bowman, who's a guy they like to feature in the passing game in certain moments. Just couldn't come down with it. We hope Alonzo Moore is okay. He looked to be in pain. Take a look back at that play to see what happened to Alonzo. He's right here. Just running off line of scrimmage, got tripped up a little bit and something happened.
So we will check on Moore and be right back to Canton.
Those are all.
So Alonzo Moore able to walk slowly over to the General sideline. He's played in all 9 games this season out of Nebraska. And for Pittsburgh, this would be a massive win defensively if they can force a field goal attempt, a 3rd and 14 and an empty set for DeAndre Johnson. Johnson, quarterback draw. Can he get the edge? Initially, yes, and he's trying to work down the sideline. He gets close to that line to gain. He stepped out of bounds, just depends on the spot. They're going to put him right there at the 15.
It's a good run, good play by DeAndre Johnson. You empty the backfield, allow him to be the runner in the backfield. Most times defenses don't guard the quarterback for this, but this is why I call DeAndre Johnson a runner with special passing ability. You see how he tucks the football, and now he's a runner. Now all of his running instincts have kicked in, And now he gets out of bounds, saves the hit, and gets a first down.
It was a friendly spot for New Jersey, and Pittsburgh may want to look.
Let's check out exactly when DeAndre went out of bounds. He's gaining, he's pushed, he's out there. Yeah,
that's not the 15.
Yeah, that ball looks to be about 1.5 yards short. Right there.
Okay. Wait, let me.
Yard line. The ball be moved to that spot. Will be 4th down and 2.
That's one of my favorite things about the USFL. We don't need to put the headset on, walk over, go under the hood, none of the nonsense. Mike Pereira, the voice of reason, calls in, goes, back it up, let's play ball.
The transparency is phenomenal. And again, you talk about other leagues, you know, if other leagues did that as well, i.e. the National Football League, I think referees would get a better shake in the public.
Just make them human.
Exactly.
It's a really big call in the game because now instead of a first down inside the 15, sets up the field goal attempt for Skiba. He's already hit. It's time from 35. He's been money. Tie ball game.
Tie ball game, and this is exactly what the Pittsburgh Maulers defense wanted to do after that horrific field goal try and flipping of the field. They held the Generals to 3, and they still have the football with some time left in the first half.
So the only team that has clinched a playoff spot so far is Birmingham, and they are a tough team to beat. 7-2, best record in the league, but all these games this weekend, they matter. Who is going to get the remaining spots? And it starts here with the Generals in Pittsburgh. It's a win or go home game. Chance to play in the North Division playoffs a week from today. But there's some compelling matchups. All these teams pretty even in this league. Who knows who may be the champion season 2?
Who knows? We saw last year the New Jersey Generals were running through the league with a 9-1 record. They got to the North Championship game. The Philadelphia Stars surprised them. They punched their ticket to the championship game. And things look to be reversed this year, right? You got the Philadelphia Stars. They're playing well. Got the New Jersey Generals. If they can win this game, get into the North Championship next week, they'll have their opportunity to make the championship game.
And we were down there in Birmingham when Philly had the Stallions on their home field all over the ropes. It looked like Philly was going to win that game, really the entirety of the game, and then Birmingham came back late and got it over the top. So that matchup, if they could get to the championship, would be a pretty legendary championship game.
See the squib kick again.
Squib kick to Stocky. Do you like the squib kick strategy?
No, and I get it. I understand you're trying to keep the ball away from Josh Simmons and Isaiah Henney, but now you look at this Maulers offense, and maybe this is a game plan deal, but you look at this Maulers offense, they have the football at the 48-yard line. I mean, 2 first downs, they're in the scoring zone. But this could be a game plan situation where there's not much belief that the Maulers offense is going to move much. So I think Mike Riley's like, I'll take my defense on the football field at the 50-yard line every time.
And Mike Riley's funny, man. He was like, as soon as we score, the first thought in my head is, my goodness, now we got to kick off. I got to go talk to the special teams coach here.
That's real, man.
So great starting field position for Pittsburgh. Williams firing. That pass is in the arms of Bailey Gaither. Nice pickup to get the drive going.
Yeah. Nice pickup, little stick route combination, empty formation. It was a 3-by-2. Troy Williams, again, getting the ball out of his hands faster. This offense has success when the ball leaves his hands fast. It doesn't when he holds on to it.
Here's Williams down the sideline. Would have been an incredible catch. It was Trey Walker threw one arm up and couldn't gather. And
again, you hear me talk about Troy Williams getting the football out faster. This was earlier in the game. Getting the ball out to his playmakers in space. That's 1.5 seconds from snap to pass. You look at right here again, almost 1.5 again. Getting the football out to your playmakers in space, forcing this Generals defense to run and hit. And again, slant pass, 1.8 seconds. Get the ball to Trey Walker. He took a big hit, but your offense is moving the football and your offensive line gaining confidence.
There's Groshek. Roshek trying to push that pile across the line to gain, and it appears he's able to. It's like a first down. We get a timeout by the Maulers.
Timeout. Pittsburgh, their second of the half. 30 seconds. Please reset the game clock to 105. 105, please.
No, Jack, at some point on this drive before the half ends, the Maulers are going to have to take a shot at the end zone. I think coming up would be if I was the offensive play caller, this would be my opportunity to take a shot at the end zone.
Okay.
And on that opening script for Williams, 4 for 4, 50 yards and a touchdown since, 5 of 11, just 36 yards.
And again, a lot of that had to do with holding the football. Longer routes having to be developed downfield forces the quarterback to hold on to the football.
So now just one timeout to work with. 1st and 10, 1:05 to play from the 42. Williams scrambles, has some space. He's looking like he still wants to throw the ball, even though he's beyond the line of scrimmage. It's DeJuan Hines escorting him to the boundary.
And again, you see Troy Williams right there. I classify him as a mover, right? With a mover or thrower with running ability. As you can see right there, it wasn't like when DeAndre Johnson had the football. He tucked it and he's a real runner. You see Troy right here as he climbs in the pocket. He's still trying to get the ball downfield. He's still trying to throw. He's looking for somebody to block the guy in front of him. That's, to me, the big difference between your quarterback being a real runner and a passer that can move.
Hand it off. Roshek, can he get the edge? Trying to. Sheds one tackler, but the secondary was there waiting on him. Paris Ford stepped up, got him on the ground. Colin Hill assistant. Play call, you like it?
No. As you know, I'm an offensive guy, Jack. I want to push the ball downfield. And again, you just want to give this offensive line some confidence, but at some point, you have to threaten this secondary. Let them know you'll go downfield.
So this is now going to be very interesting. It was a 3rd and 5, come up about a yard short. Isaiah Henney out of bounds. Do you want to go for this before halftime? Let's listen.
Let's kick it.
Go!
Good job, Coach. Good job, Coach. Defensive coach. It's hard for a defensive coach to be in a scoring position and not take the points.
Timeout. Are they going to push the clock? Push it! Push it! Timeout, timeout, timeout,
We have seen
timeout.
these kicks
Why would
be
you push the
eventful in a
clock?
timeout.
Why would you push the clock?
Timeout. Pittsburgh, their 3rd and final of the half. 30-second timeout.
Stewart, how come you wouldn't push that? Stewart, why wouldn't we push that with a new ball?
We had the ball down in plenty of times.
Okay, but it wasn't plenty of time for us.
I
for
got
you,
you.
humorously. Thank you. All right, here we go.
I love
guys.
the interaction, man. It wasn't enough time for me. Might have been enough time for you as the official, but my team wasn't ready.
He's a good man, isn't he?
Yes.
Ray Horton, he's fun to visit with
very
every time.
good guy.
And he gives so much responsibility to his assistants. He really lets the offensive coordinator go. He lets the defensive coordinator and his son, Jaron Horton, coach the defense. And he oversees the process, but he's trying to develop coaches of the future as we go. So from 52 yards away, and we have seen a high snap already that set up the Generals to tie the game. This kick from Blewett is through it. What a kick that was from 52. Wow.
From 52, I like it. Chris blew it, and it went through it. I like that, Jack, huh? A little bar for you right there, man.
Appreciate you, man.
It's all good. He did not, no slipping on this particular field goal as Chris Blewett drains it right down the middle.
I'm starting to be a little bit more of a believer in that 59-yard attempt after that shot. That's the stinger. Tee it low and go. A little contact there as well.
Just a little bit.
So 23 seconds now until halftime. No timeouts for the Generals, no timeouts for the Maulers.
Oh, yeah, for sure. The drop was, I thought they were
7, 8, 9, 10.
See if the Generals can get a return with just a few seconds.
Out of the way, Kingston.
So Cam Eccles looper, he took a big shot early on in the game, but he is still back deep, had that 85-yard kickoff return on the opening kickoff last week against Philly. Will he get an opportunity here? He's back there with Marcus Green out of Louisiana Monroe, who is all speed himself, number 14. Looper has the football fly over his head, so Chris Blewett has a monster leg, and you just saw it twice. And it is playoff time, a trip to the USFL Championship. It is on the line. Don't miss North Division Championship next Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time on NBC and Peacock. And the winner of our game will take on the winner of tomorrow night's Philadelphia versus Michigan game. And who will they play from the South? The odds-on favorite, I would imagine, the Birmingham Stallions, but the South has been a very good division all year long.
Yeah, the South has been a very good division. Don't turn your backs on the New Orleans Breakers. They have a really legit offense with a pass rush defensively. They're going to surprise some people.
I like it. I like that pick.
What do they call it? Albuquerque Q? What do they call it? Q?
So it's a three-point game. We had the Henne touchdown, the only touchdown of this first half. Nothing but field goals. Other than that, it's 9-6 Pittsburgh at the break. Can the Maulers figure out a way to get into the playoffs? We will see.
For first half highlights, presented by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Ready or not, here we come.
Let's go now, let's go.
Get louder, whole city riled up, jumping out the gates head first like a wild.
Let's get it.
The energy around us.
Yes, sir.
We made it from the ground up. We are built for this.
Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need.
So those were the highlights. These are the stats of that first half of play. The rush yards, as they typically do, belong to the Generals. Total yards, though, over there with the Maulers. And I just caught up with Jaron Horton coming out of the restroom. I'll share those thoughts in just a minute. First, let's go down to Caroline, who's with Mike Riley.
Coach, how do you get into more of a rhythm offensively here?
Oh boy, we need to put a couple first downs back to back so we do get some rhythm. We have no confidence in that right now. We have a few isolated plays, but nothing that we follow up, that's worked very well. So we're just going to have to be more consistent.
What was your message to DeAndre Johnson at the half?
Just relax and take what's there. We're getting some plays that we could, dump the ball in a shallow cross and make some yardage, and so don't stay down the field so long. Just take what the defense is giving you.
Thanks, Coach. Jack?
All right, Caroline, Coach, thank you very much. And I enjoyed hearing the difference between father and son. You heard Ray Horton talking with Caroline there at halftime. He said, we got 9 points. That's enough to win the game. Jaron Horton I said, anything top of mind? He said, we need more points, and they're going to take a shot. He said the first series of the second half, they will take a shot. Here's Josh Simmons. Maulers get the football first, and they'll begin out across the 35.
This Generals defense, they have been pesty and been getting after Troy Williams all day long. You see right here, big Toby Johnson just pushing the pocket, making the pocket seem small so that there's no escape lanes for Troy Williams. You see Colin Hill right there just using the motor, using his arms, and getting after the quarterback, big Toby Johnson again, who's a guy that I call him the immovable object. He makes plays on double teams, and he's showing his pass rush here today.
Troy Williams hands it away, trying to get the ground game going. There has not been much space. It's been eaten up by that defensive front. That time it's Kenneth Randall shedding a blocker, making the tackle.
Yeah, Kenneth Randall usually does his work in the passing game. You also had Dwan Hines there on the tackle, the will linebacker for this Generals defense. But again, This team wants to be physical. Chris Orr told us earlier this week that we just want to hit anything moving. We really don't care what they do. It's about us. When we get to the tackle, make them feel it.
Williams swings it. Isaiah Henney with some space, and Henney is going to lower his shoulder, get close to the line to gain. He's going to be about a yard short. It's Christian Tutt who got him on the ground.
And again, for Troy Williams, just an easy pass, just a little flat route, hitch route, whatever you want to call it. It only took about a second to get the ball out of your hands. You can see right here, get the ball and just throw it out there to Isaiah Henney and let him go do work and be a playmaker in space. As you can see, that's just a quick 7 yards, Jack, with a really little throw.
3rd and 1. Hand it off. Groshek. There's one thing he's good at. It's that right there. Just go get that first down. He did it.
Yeah, Garrett Groshek understands where the small lanes are in the defense. You see him right here. Get to the feet of his offensive lineman before he makes a decision. Gets there, and you can see with every step he's going forward. He even falls forward. A good physical run from Garrett Groshek.
He's a guy that played behind Jonathan Taylor at Wisconsin. Taylor, of course, extremely talented running back for the Colts. Now Williams down the sideline. There was a lot of contact there. Tutt got a piece of Trey Walker. Looking at the referee who says no flag.
Oh, that was a lot of contact. Handsy play fighting with Christian Tutt right there. You see Christian Tutt the corner and Trey Walker. Trey trying to get some separation. You get a little tug on the back end. But Jack, where that tug was, the referee couldn't see it, so I guess it's not a flag. You know what I'm saying?
It's a smooth move. Sets up a 2nd and 10. Here's Williams. Protection's great this time. Now Williams is going to run behind that protection. He takes off. He's still on his feet down the sideline before a couple penalty markers fly from behind the secondary. Those flags were late.
What a play by Troy
All right,
Williams.
where's the line to gain? Yeah, so it's still, yeah, I know, but it's going to be. Yeah. At the end of the run, it's going to be behind the line to gain, right? What was your number again? 80. During the run,
It's going to be
personal
during the
foul,
play.
illegal blindside block. Number 80, offense, 15-yard penalty, 2nd out.
That's Siebert right there. Okay, Matt Siebert, I think he's right there setting up for a crackback block right there. Can't do it, can't block against your goal line like that as you get the crackback block. Trying to take this out of the game, Jack. But I think Matt Siebert was trying to get some get back from that big hit he took earlier in the first half.
There's a day in football that was a great block. Not anymore, though. Swing this one. It's caught by Ishmael Hyman. He's trying to gain some of that yardage back. He's lowering his shoulder on Askew Henry, letting him know about it after the fact.
See big Ishmael Hyman, 6 foot, 200-pound wide receiver, getting the football, turning the corner. Is one thing that's unique to this Maulers offense is that anybody can be the jet sweep guy. Anybody can get the football and circle the defense because of all the speed they have on the outside. Hyman, he gets up, he's excited. Just like to see him pick his helmet up on that run and not put his head all the way down to punish the defender.
Williams hands it. Andre London, who is stopped by Toby Johnson. He made the initial play. London eventually escaped, and then he was tackled once again. It's Bryson Young finally getting him on the ground.
Toby Johnson, there's that man again. There he is in the middle of a defense near you. He cannot be moved. You see him stay square, take on the double team, bench press the guard up off of him, and still allow space for Bryson Young to run through and make the tackle. And Toby Johnson, all USFL last year, looking like he may get that again.
Here's Williams, complete, mainly Gaither. And Gaither lost the football. Ball's out. Ball's loose, and the Generals dive on top of it. It's Rescue Henry, who's getting the last laugh. It's Miko Dotson got the football out, and Pittsburgh was looking smooth offensively, and it all collapses on one play.
The one thing that this Maulers offense could not do was turn the football over. They fumble, you see the fumble here. Generals get on it. We'll be back with Generals taking over on offense. What a great tackle by Miko Dotson, cornerback for the New Jersey Generals. See Bailey Gaither right there, just not keeping the ball high and tight to his body. All ball carriers know as you're getting tackled, you're supposed to squeeze the ball. But going down to the ground, the human body doesn't always do that, so you have to be conscious of it. You see Bailey Gaither, wish he had that play back.
And for New Jersey, the 10th forced fumble of the season. 7 of them they've recovered. Here comes Darius Victor, and Victor is moving forward. Here come the Generals back the other way after the turnover.
Yeah, you got Von Taylor in on that tackle as well. You see Kiava Tizino with the run through. But again, I spoke at halftime about this Generals offense getting back to running the football with Darius Victor. He averaged over 6 yards a carry in the first half. He is the foundation for this offense with the New Jersey Generals. You see Kiava right there, who's having a Defensive Player of the Year type of year.
Johnson, play action on the scramble. Johnson gets it complete. That's Cam Eccles-Looper, and Eccles-Looper takes it across the 45 with the first down before Tornadon made the stop.
But again, you see the first play, Darius Victor get the football. He broke off a nice run, and now you fake it to him, and you have some type of an RPO type of an action, getting DeAndre Johnson on the move and getting a pass play in the process. So
and
DeAndre right there.
An injury. It's Boogie Roberts who's taking a knee.
Maulers defense cannot afford to lose Big Boogie Roberts. It's the heart and soul right in the middle of that defensive front.
That's the mayor of the USFL right there. Check on Boogie. Be right back. Well, it is hard to find a more important player than Boogie Roberts on the Pittsburgh Maulers, and he made his way with a limp over to the Pittsburgh sideline. You see Christopher Okoye, who checks in for him, and he will have to play some huge minutes in a win-or-go-home game here for this defense.
Yeah, and Christopher Okoye, 6'6", 320, 325 pounds. He's a bigger guy than Boogie. But Boogie's so quick. He's so fast off the ball. That's what gives him the advantage.
DeAndre Johnson firing down the sideline, unable to hang on as Marcus Green, who was a little behind him, had a chance and couldn't bring it in.
Yeah, at some point, DeAndre Johnson and these receivers, they have to start connecting on some of these deeper throws, again, to back this Maulers defense off of them, off of the run game, so Darius Victor and DeAndre Johnson can be more effective in the run game. General's going to have to hurry this one up.
Yep. Johnson gets it off. He's going to keep it himself. Fakes it to Victor. Breaks one tackle. Now cuts it back up inside across midfield. Going to set up a third down and very doable here. Eli Walker made the tackle.
You see that right there, Jack? You see he had an opportunity to bubble again and run out of bounds. But DeAndre, being the runner that he is, it's in his nature to put his foot in the ground and cut up field. You see right here, would like the ball in the outside hand, but as long as he can protect it, put it in the hand, you feel more comfortable with DeAndre Johnson with another run.
Third and 2 with Boogie on the sideline. Johnson flushed. Now complete. Penalty marker, though, flies, and it came from behind Johnson and behind the offensive line. Could this go against the Generals?
Holding, number 27. Offense. 10-yard penalty. Third down.
Oh, get off my running back. Get off Darius Victor. But it's all good. Sometimes these things happen. It's supposed to be a quick run fake. You see Darius just getting out of position. Again, us running backs, we aren't always used to our quarterback moving while we're in pass protection, and sometimes it gets the running back in bad position.
So it will now be a 3rd and long, and you see the 3rd down number so far in the day for Mike Riley's offense. 3rd and 12.
Yeah, not great for Mike Riley and his Generals offense, but this is exactly what Darren Horton and this Pittsburgh Maulers defense wanted.
Johnson, that ball is knocked out of his hand and it's loose. They're going to call it a fumble. It's a fumble. It's loose on the ground. Eli Walker scoops it up. Eli Walker to the house. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Nazir Player got a hand on it and Walker took it home.
Early on the field,
We have to see.
Recovered by the defense and returned for a touchdown.
We have to see if DeAndre's arm was going forward, if this is a fumble or this is an incomplete pass.
Close.
It's very close. Oh, that ball's out. That ball's out. That looks like a fumble to me. Good job by this Maulers defense by keep playing. Just play through.
Touchdown.
The whistle, you see Nasir Player reaching his arm in, doing a pass rush against Brandon Haskins, right tackle for the Generals, making a play on the outside. Nasir Player is a guy that Boogie Roberts told us this week is coming on strong, has position versatility, has a great motor, and now you're seeing him continue to make big-time plays in a playoff situation. Take a look at this again. That is a fumble. Looks like a fumble to me, Jack.
And he won right away. He beat Brandon Haskin immediately over there at his right tackle spot. It makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? That the Pittsburgh defense
Yes, it does.
would be the ones to score the touchdown. A beautiful play there. And the extra point right down the middle from Chris Blewett. So the Pittsburgh Maulers, they're trying to be a playoff football team. Got themselves a 10-point lead. Walker, nobody could catch him. So the story of the season for the Pittsburgh Maulers, it's been the takeaways. They get them, they win. Simple as that. You think about Father's Day coming up tomorrow, too. It's kind of fun. Jaron Horton, the defensive coordinator, and he has been a great defensive coordinator. Even if you go back to season 1 in the USFL, season 2, this defense, top of the league again. But father and son orchestrating that group, defensive touchdown there. Eli Walker took it home. Nazir Player, an incredible setup with the strip sack. Cam Eccles Looper with one arm he's brought down. It's like he had a lane there, and that was ended quickly by Xavier Lewis.
To the naked eye, that looked like a face mask, Jack, but it's tough for me to figure it out right now. Did his hand just disappear? Where did it go? Looked like he may have grabbed him in front of his pads. Guess it wasn't a face mask. Let's see what DeAndre Johnson and his Generals offense can do after the turnover last drive.
And they've got great players on the inside of that defensive front, but Player really is the speed option, the speed pass rush option. And he has had moments throughout this year, just had a big one in this second half. Now Victor, he's stopped up. That time it's Reuben Foster. And Reuben Foster is a stud, made that stop.
You see Jaron right there.
Alert for a shot. Alert for a shot. Here we go. Tight, weak, 52, or tight, weak Tampa. Tight, weak Tampa. Tight, weak Tampa.
Tight, weak Tampa.
Trey slot.
Cover
Shot,
two
shot,
type
shot,
of
shot,
defense,
shot,
two
Tez.
safeties.
Shot, Tez, you're going to have to get out
deep.
here. Get your read.
He's saying watch for the shot. Watch for vertical routes.
Fake it, swing it to the outside. It's Stewart. Stewart with a stiff arm. Find some room down the sideline. Darryl Stewart, he caught those 2 deep passes a week ago, helped New Jersey snap their 5-game losing streak, but he was really smooth in that win.
Yeah, 3 catches, 109 yards last week. those long, explosive pass plays, it provides some space to your offense that gives more room for your running game to operate. I thought that they would come out earlier in this game and really use him a little bit more to stretch, to vertically stretch the defense of the Pittsburgh Maulers.
3rd and 5. Johnson over the middle, and it's brought in through contact. A great play made by Braden Bowman. Reuben Foster put a big hit on him and made him earn it.
You heard me talk about at the beginning of this game how Reuben Foster is an explosive tackler. I think you've seen it right here. When he gets to you in a hurry, and you usually go backwards. And the reason why he's such an explosive tackler, Jack, is because when he makes contact with you, all 12 cleats are in the ground, so he's generating his power from the ground. It's a really good tackle by a really good player.
2 of the best linebackers in the league, Tizino and Foster. Johnson on the roll. Now he's going to run, just take it out of bounds, picking up 5 yards. In that process, Tizino pushed him out of bounds.
Seems like this Jaron Horton defense knows exactly what's going to happen with this New Jersey Generals offense, right? When they're going to throw the football, there's not a lot of pocket passing. It's more of moving the pocket, play action passing with crossers. This defense is on it.
Loose, he's on the ball. Go for it.
2nd and 7, high snap over the head of Johnson. Now he lost the football, ball still on the ground, and he's able to gather it. You see Pittsburgh and their players with their hands on their head. Man, we had that football. Reuben Foster was there. Taylor was there to meet him.
Again, very high snap by Jake Lucina. But again, you never want to take a bad play and make it worse. And DeAndre almost right there by not getting the football, almost made a bad play worse. You can see it right here. And Jack, when I played for the Seahawks, Pete Carroll used to make everybody on the team practice picking fumbles up. And I used to always wonder, what the hell are we doing this for, man? Well, as you can see right there, sometimes it can save your team bad situations.
Timeout, New Jersey. They're first of the half. 30 seconds.
So the Generals take a timeout. Boogie Roberts still on the sideline.
This is a tough one.
Over
Let's
there
see
by
if
the
you can
10.
get down the
Does
chute
have his
on
helmet
this.
on. Let's go down to
Be
Caroline
smart,
for an
man.
update.
The first down's a 50-yard.
Yeah, Jack, an update on Boogie Roberts. It is a right knee injury. The athletic training staff told me it's nothing structural, so they will allow him to put a brace on it, test it, and he will be able to go back into the game if he feels like he can.
Okay, Caroline. Well, that's good news for Pittsburgh. Still, though, over on the sideline, now looks like he's making his way back in to that 10.
That's a tough one, Jack, because with as much zone, outside and inside zone runs that the Generals like to do in their run game, it puts a lot of stress on that zero technique. When I talk about the zero technique, that's what Boogie Roberts plays. He plays right over top of the center. And with his right knee being an issue, when the ball is going left, oftentimes the offensive linemen are trying to cut him down. So I'll be looking out if he comes back into the game.
3rd and 21 after the high snap. Johnson wants all of it, firing downfield. And that is just too much. He's looking for Darryl Stewart, who made some great plays on the ball, and it falls incomplete. Keith Gibson back there covering.
And again, that's just the Generals offense, just trying to get the ball downfield, throwing the ball on the outside right there to Darryl Stewart, who was open initially, but again, he gets further down the field, he gets covered up by Keith Gibson, and that's what this Maulers defense likes. They like to keep everything in front of them and not give up the explosive play.
Brock Miller hits a wobbly punt that drifts out of bounds, does not want to kick to Isaiah Henney. So Johnson is not loving what he's seeing, not playing their style offensively. They're down 10.
The inches we need are everywhere around us. Hell yeah. They're in every break of the game, every minute, every second. On this team, we fight for that inch. On this team, we tear ourselves and everyone else around us to pieces for that inch. We claw with our fingernails for that inch. Because we know when we add up all those inches, that's gonna make the fucking difference between winning and losing.
The great Al Pacino, and stay tuned right after the game today. Any Given Sunday follows us. See if Mike Riley can do his best. Al Pacino, not only need inches, they need feet. Down 10 at this point.
Yeah, they need a lot. I actually did that monologue in college. We fight for every inch. Yeah, Jack, I was on it. We had to do it.
Here's Henny gaining some inches, gaining some yards here for the Pittsburgh Maulers. Into General's territory, he rumbles.
Again, this is what Coach Horton told us all week. Get our playmakers in space. You see empty right here with Isaiah Henny trying to turn the corner. Actually, the Generals defense did a good job of forcing him to cut the ball back. The thing is, he's so fast. When he cuts it back, he cuts through the middle of your defense in a heartbeat.
Williams swings it to the outside. It's Mason Stockey who cuts it back up inside. And he lowers that shoulder on Paris Ford, bringing a little pain there to Ford. Stockey's been active in the passing game.
Stockey has been active because, again, he plays that tight end / fullback position. And if you know anything about fullbacks, Jack, most of the time we're running flat routes, right? And again, that helps the quarterback get the ball out of his hands faster, which again helps this offensive line, gives them a little bit more confidence, and it frustrates the New Jersey Generals defensive front.
Hey, 1-5-6 up the end.
2nd and 1. Williams swings it. Henny. He's going to have that first down and a few yards more.
That's another Pittsburgh Maulers first down.
First down for this Maulers offense. Again, just getting your guys the ball in space. Isaiah Henny one-on-one with a corner. And again, you see him will himself to getting 5 or 6 yards. But these are the plays that are going to have to be made for this Maulers offense to get the ball downfield.
Here's Groshek. He is bad stopping. You talk about Al Pacino fighting for inches. Isaiah Henny, his whole game is built around that. Got the first down using the strategy there. So talk to me about playoff football. Super Bowl champion yourself. What did you learn when you finally made it to this type of game, this playoff type feel? What was your first experience with it?
Well, Jack, my first playoff game was the Beastquake game when everybody knows when Marshawn Lynch kind of tore through the New Orleans Saints defense. But what I remember was I was so prepared for the game, it totally changed how I prepared for regular season games.
That's about as high as you can start with a playoff game.
Absolutely.
Here's Williams, escapes the rush. Now there's some room, and he slides down inside the 20. So Pittsburgh is cruising. So you started with the Beastquake of all games.
Started with the Beastquake. Was my very first playoff game as we watched Troy Williams rip off another run for this Maulers offense. But again, this is what they're going to have to do to get the ball downfield. But yeah, man, it was so much tension in that first playoff game, right? And you start to think, why don't I prepare and be this prepared for regular season games? And it totally just changed my approach to football.
Sounds just like you, man.
Yeah, man.
It really does.
That's it, man.
Locked in. Andre London in at running back. And a little quake here from London as he's going to break a few tackles, taking inside the 10. And Pittsburgh, offensively, is looking like something against a talented defense. That's Askew Henry who finally made the tackle to end this third quarter. 10-point lead for the Pittsburgh Maulers. They were not the favorite coming in. Everybody thought it would be New Jersey, who won 9 straight a season ago. Forget about it. Here comes Pittsburgh. So just moments ago, Boogie Roberts to the locker room. The expression says it all. Let's check in with Caroline.
Jack, Boogie had gone back into the medical tent for about 5 minutes. He came out with a heavier brace on, tested it again, decided that he still was not going to be able to go back into the game. So he will go back into the locker room, be evaluated further. The plan is to get him x-rays, but in classic Boogie Roberts fashion, he stopped to talk to some fans on his way into the tunnel, Jack.
How about that, Caroline? And he is one of the cooler guys that you can spend 15 minutes with. And of course, we get to do it every time we talk to or do a Pittsburgh Maulers game, and there he is talking with the fans on the way in. And what a strange feeling. Your team's up 10, headed to the playoffs, and you're going to the locker room. Here's Williams looking for more points, and that's broken up. It's Artavius Lynn there, the intended target. Christian Tutt, who broke it up as Pittsburgh tries to play add-on.
It's a good play by Christian Tutt right there. Again, going up against a bigger receiver, understanding that when the receiver puts his hands up, that's when I can attack his hands and make a play on the football.
Got Groshek split out to the bottom of your screen. Empty set. Comes Isaiah Henney in motion. Give the ball to Henney. He wants to throw it, and he does throw it to Groshek, although it's not the prettiest play on planet Earth.
It is the prettiest play to an offensive guy, Jack. I actually like the play. Why? You know why I like the play? First of all, they tried something here. This is kind of what the Generals did last week, but the fact that this broken play didn't end up in an interception or a fumble or something like that, you just live to fight another day. That's why I look at that play as being successful.
So Williams has been very good on third down. Big one here. Keeps it and runs it inside the 5. Let's get to run a little clock here. And the field goal unit trots out.
And that's been the issue again with this offense all season, right? The defense puts them and their special teams puts them in positions to score, but when they get down in the scoring zone, they have trouble finding the end zone. That's why Ray Horton talked about the touchdown in the first half being so big. They kick a lot of field goals when they get down here. And in some of these games, the difference of touchdowns and field goals made all the difference in the wins or losses.
Job by the defense of the Generals. Get off the field, brings on Chris Blewett. Field goal attempt, that is good. So it's 19-6 at this point. Generals not exactly built to come from behind. Can they do it? So the 10-point lead extends to 13 after the Chris Blewett field goal attempt was good. 13-03 in the fourth. These two teams trying to get a spot in the North Division playoffs a week from today as Blewett sends it for a touchback.
This Maulers defense, they've been on it today. They've been getting after DeAndre Johnson in this run game all day long. You see Big Terry Buckner right there making a play. Tarpley getting in the throwing lane, not just knocking the football down, but intercepting it. You see Nasir Player right here making a play on the quarterback. Again, not just getting to the quarterback, but when you get there, you're being a playmaker, turning the football over as you see Eli Walker walk into the end zone. This Maulers defense, they have been leading the charge all season long for this Maulers team, and today they're showing up.
So now the weight of the world on the shoulders of DeAndre Johnson. Drops the pass, trying to set up the screen. Just a short little pass there to his tight end and Bowman. And it's Will Miles who knocks it away. But this team, they're really built to be ahead and extend leads and run the football. How do you view their style from behind?
Yeah, they're not, this team, this Mike Riley coach New Jersey Generals team, they just aren't built. The mentality isn't so that they are going to come back from behind, right? They're built to play with the lead. They're built to run the football. They're built to play 4-minute offense. They're not really built to have the straight drop back passing that we're seeing them forced to do right now, being down 2 scores.
Here's Johnson. Floating it down the sideline, and Reuben Foster caught it, although his feet were out of bounds. Looking for Cam Eccles-Looper.
And again, you see DeAndre Johnson right there trying to make that throw. But this is not his game. His game isn't sitting in the pocket trying to beat you by moving people with his eyes and trying to beat you with his arm. His game is using his entire body, legs included, along with that arm. So that means play action passing comes into play. But when you're down by multiple scores and you're not even trying to run the football, defenses don't even respect the play action pass.
3rd and 10. Firing. That's a dangerous looking pass. Keith Gibson broke it up. It's Cam Eccles-Looper diving for the football.
You see DeAndre right there again, straight drop back pass. This was a little bit of a trap coverage by Keith Gibson and this Maulers defense, thinking I'm playing one, but I'm actually playing both of them, being in the zone as he drives on this route from DeAndre Johnson's throw and almost came away with the interception.
Miller on to punt. Isaiah Henney back deep to receive, and this will take a very friendly Maulers bounce, and then it is scooped up by Eli Walker, who makes it even better, taking it inside the 40-yard line. So the Pittsburgh Maulers in complete control. Jaron Horton's defense leading the way.
Greatness can be achieved in the USFL playoffs.
So Pittsburgh trying to put this game away, punch their ticket. These are the games that will decide that playoff picture. Birmingham and Memphis, 4 p.m. Eastern time on Fox. That game today. Then the Breakers in Houston tomorrow, 1 Eastern time on FS1. And then Philly and Michigan. And remember, Philly, they still need to win, as you just said, Mike Robb, in order to get their spot in the playoffs, where they were a season ago before making the championship game. Handed off to Groshek, and Groshek is moving forward.
It's a really good run by Garrett Groshek right there. Was nothing in the middle of that offensive line to run the football. See Garrett, great contact balance. Just a little ISO play here, gets to the feet of the offensive lineman and finds a hole, falls forward.
Gonna let this clock run down. Smart move.
Call 4-minute offense, Jack. Just used to be when I used to be on the field almost every single second.
You're playing the role of Stocky, I bet.
Yes, sir.
Stocky had a good block, didn't matter. Hercules Mata Alpha beat his block and made the tackle.
This Maulers team has done a good job with Hercules today. He hadn't made much noise, hadn't been that much of a disruptor. But when you put him on a tight end, almost always in the run game, he's going to be able to shed and make the tackle.
3rd and 5. Williams hands it off, big hole here, and Groshek sprints through it, takes it inside the 20. Now they can do some real damage to that clock.
And this is great play calling by John Tomlinson. You're going to see a motion come here, which is going to move the backer, number 6. He's sitting out there. I think this is yep, you see the motion there. It's going to move the defender, which creates a lane for Garrett Groshek right there. That's great eyes by Garrett Groshek. But again, even better play calling by John Tomlinson, understanding how his general defense will adjust to motion.
Former team captain for the Wisconsin Badgers there, picking up that first down to Groshek. Give it to him again, why not? And whistles blow. Like Pittsburgh moved.
Prior to the snap, false start. Number 85, offense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Tavius Lynn moved a little bit early right there, but again, this drive, this Maulers offense have been running the football. They've been hitting their combinations on their double teams, and I think they're just excited to get going. See Tavius just getting off the ball just a little earlier, trying to control the edge of the line of scrimmage.
Flip it to the outside. Siebert has the football. He goes vertical. It's Askew Henry going low, putting him up in the air. Another good pickup for Pittsburgh.
And again, you've seen Matt Siebert catch kind of a quick route or a quick screen. You've seen Mason Stockey catch a couple of these. You've seen Isaiah Henney catch some of these. Josh Simmons. Everybody in this Maulers offense gets an opportunity to be in space. And Ray Horton talked to us about, again, constantly getting his big players and his playmakers in space and forcing the defense to make tackles.
Pittsburgh has completely controlled this game. Williams down the seam and through the arms of his receiver. Although there is penalty markers in every direction. He's looking for Ishmael Hyman, DJ Daniel covering, and a lot of contact.
Yeah, lots of contact right there. You wish DJ Daniel just would have turned around and tried to locate the football. Maybe they wouldn't have called this penalty.
Pass interference. Defense, number 20. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot and an automatic. First down.
Lots of hand fighting, lots of contact. As these two hit the ground in the end zone.
He's good, Alex. Put him back anytime.
But the Generals just aren't being themselves today. They're usually one of the top pass coverage defenses in the league. Not being themselves today, allowing the playmakers for the Pittsburgh Maulers to make plays in the passing game.
And remember, Pittsburgh lost all 3 games to New Jersey since the relaunch, and they have completely had their number until today.
Yeah. But again, the Maulers playing to their identity, right? Tough defense, creating turnovers, and getting points when they're there.
Andre London touchdown, Pittsburgh.
Andre London almost walks in the end zone, totally surprising everybody in this stadium. Just an outside zone right here. Did not think that you would get this much movement from this offensive line, and you see Andre London almost walk into the end zone, not touched until he got into the end zone by Paris Ford. Big-time push by this offensive line. Jack, I never thought I'd say that it was a big-time push by this Maulers offensive line, but they're doing well. They're hitting their combinations, creating run lanes for their running backs.
What a turnaround on this season it has been for the Pittsburgh Maulers. Started as one of the worst teams in the league, definitely one of the worst offenses in the league. And they find this guy, Troy Williams, and life changed. All ground game that drive, Andre London with the payoff. Well, this has been a good old-fashioned butt-whooping here. Pittsburgh over New Jersey. Jaron Horton, he's led the way, defensive coordinator. Of course, his father, head coach Ray Horton. Father's Day tomorrow, pretty cool deal here, Caroline.
It is, Jack. Jaron Horton told me a playoff berth would be the best Father's Day present he could give his dad. He described the opportunity to work with Ray this season as a blessing, especially since the two normally live in different cities. This Father's Day weekend is special for Jaron, not only because he's coaching with Ray, but also because it's his first Father's Day. He and his wife, Anna, welcomed their daughter, Zahira, in February. And while they've been too focused on the game to think about any Father's Day plans yet, Jaron told me yesterday that he hoped they'd also be celebrating a win. So right now, it looks like they will be, Jack.
Well, it's been the best defense in the league really all season long, and they've had to bail out their offense time and time again. And Jaron Horton, he has called some game out here. And I think maybe one day when you talk to Jaron, you go, do you want to be a head coach in college? And what's your aspirations? He wants to be a head coach in the USFL, wow. And he's clear about that.
That's pretty cool,
it is.
Man. That is really cool to come to work with your dad every day. Hey, Jack, dads matter, man.
I know they do.
You love it as you see DeAndre Johnson complete the pass to Wes Saxton right there. Again, just to go back to what you said earlier, not sure if this New Jersey Generals offense is kind of built to come back from a deficit like this.
Got some work to do. Johnson, whistles blow.
False start action.
and more pre-snap movement. Happy Father's Day to you as well, my friend.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it, man. You tell
Number
Pops and everything.
76, offense. 5-yard penalty, second down.
Yeah, tell Pops Happy Father's Day too, man. You know, sliding into the shot, you know, all those Sunday night football games, man. Gotta love it, man.
Yep. Got a lot of movement pre-snap from the beginning of this game.
Yeah, lots of movement, lots of, but again, you have pass rushers on both sides of the football that these tackles have to get ready for.
Now Johnson hit as he throws. Is that ball loose? They're going to say yes. It's scooped up by King.
Is that player again?
I believe it's player winning
player again. Nasir player. Wow. Another play, and again, we're not just talking about getting to the quarterback. We're talking about when you get there, the ball coming out. They called it an incomplete. Again, he hit the elbow. You see the ball go forward. I think they got this one right. But just to see the New Jersey Generals in a situation where there's drop back passing almost every single play, you get guys like Nasir Player, you get guys like Von Taylor, Alive Sagapolu, and those guys, they put their hands down and they get in that motorcycle stance and they're ready to rush the passer.
So that clock keeps on running. 3rd and 9. Johnson running. Turn those shoulders downfield. He's going to pick up a first down. Just give a little life, little hope here to New Jersey with that scramble. Where Naden finally got him on the ground.
And again, this is what DeAndre Johnson possesses. He has this ability to be able to be a real runner with the ball in his hands, but there's a trade-off, Jack, right? When you're a guy who runs the football like that, oftentimes you don't see the field as well because your check down or your short pass is always your legs, and sometimes it can get you into trouble.
Johnson and whistles, flag before the snap.
Full start. Number 80, offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Little penalty on Braden Bowman right there, some pre-snap movement. But again, this is all going to be teaching tape for Coach Riley. These guys watch this tape back.
There's Johnson. And he's going to run it straight up the middle of that defense. Gain some of that yardage back. Nasir Player. They get another play.
Nasir Player, the ultimate player out here, man. He's going, man. I mean, every single pass play, he's in the backfield. And again, you saw him rush the passer there and then retrace. We call retrace again when you can't get to the passer and you turn and you go get the ball carrier. He retraced and still made the tackle downfield on DeAndre Johnson.
2nd and 10. And this is complete. Nice play made here by Darryl Stewart. He rises up to grab that football over Eli Walker. That looked like he did a week ago, although there is a flag.
See what this flag is on the play. Looks like it's going against the Maulers.
Really on the field is that the pass is complete. Personal foul. Defense. Number 3. Face mask. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Yeah, it's a little inadvertent as Eli Walker was trying to grab at the football, but grab the helmet of Darryl Stewart. But to your point, Jack, you would have thought that this Generals offense would use this kid a little bit more, Darryl Stewart, being that he had those 3 explosive catches last week. Just hadn't seen him or seen the ball thrown to him much today.
Clock keeps running under 6. Johnson fires incomplete. It's Mark Gilbert in coverage. He may get a call to play on Sundays after this season. Alonzo Moore, the intended target.
Yeah, Mark Gilbert, he's been great all season. Probably the best man coverage player for this Pittsburgh Maulers defense. Did a good job of being real close to the receiver, not pushing the receiver, not touching the receiver, but also getting his hand in there to break up the pass. Had 3 interceptions on the season, 1 big interception last week.
Here's Johnson scrambling. Johnson to the end zone, trying to create something, and it is intercepted. Did he come all the way down with it? Yes, it's Mark Gilbert. Who else? He has been sensational, always draws the toughest cover, the #1 wide receiver, no matter who team they play, no matter what team it is, and Gilbert took away another one.
And this guy always seems to come down with the football. As you can see, DeAndre just trying to make something happen, gets moved in the pocket. Don't want to throw back across your body this deep. Throws it into the back of the end zone, trying to hope that one of his guys would come down with the play. But I think DeAndre is upset because Darrell Stewart's wide open right here. And I know our viewers see Eli Walker in the screen. And so you can see Darrell Walker slamming his helmet. I really don't always like that, because what did the helmet do to you but protect you? But you can understand the frustration of the receivers on the outside, the playmakers on the outside for the New Jersey Generals.
And for Gilbert, his 4th interception, and that gives him the most in the USFL. He has been locked down. I can't think of a more locked down corner in the entire league. Groshek breaks the tackle, and here he goes into the secondary. So as you look at this playoff picture now, and I know that there's still some shaping that will happen throughout the course of this weekend. It's a big weekend in terms of who will be playing a week from now. But who do you like? How do you see it?
Well, especially when you look at this North Division, let's assume that the Pittsburgh Maulers go on to win this game, and you have the other North matchup. You got Michigan playing the Philadelphia Stars, I believe, is the matchup tomorrow. This Philadelphia Stars team, man, they seem to be in almost every USFL championship. They're always there. I look to see the Philadelphia Stars make some moves.
And that is Bailey Gaither taking the ball out of bounds. I'm with you, though. And every time we've seen Philly and Birmingham get together, including the championship game of the season ago, it has been one to remember.
Absolutely.
Can Philly finally get it done against Birmingham? Who knows if we end up getting that matchup? We'll see. Philly's still got work to do.
Yeah, Philly has some work to do. But again, to your point, talking about Birmingham and Philly, both of the team's successes come down to their quarterbacks playing well. And I believe that in all championship teams, your quarterback has to play well if your team wants to go on and win a championship on any level.
Hands it off right up the middle. Madre London going to wind that clock. They're going to say the football came out. At least Hercules believes it did. Refs say no, it did not.
Hercules always seems to come up with the football, find a way to come up with a football. Remember in that Week 2 matchup between these two teams, he found himself with a scoop and score a fumble return for a touchdown. You can see right here, let's take a look at that play as Madre London's going down to the ground. Can't really tell when the ball was taken away, but definitely his forward progress has stopped.
May take a look.
Ruling on the previous play as the runner was down by contact. That play is under review to see if the ball came loose.
Okay. We got some action, Jack, okay. See Madre London taking this just inside zone run. Runs up in there. It's really tough to see when exactly the ball was lost. You see Hercules Mataafa come up with the football.
This angle might help.
Trying to figure out when he actually lost possession.
He looks like he was down.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to stay with the call of the runner being down by contact.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. Second down. By rule, the play clock will be set at 10 seconds. 10 seconds, please.
Good job by the officials handling that call easily. You know, not a big break in the action, and everybody understands exactly what's going on.
Be against the back. Be against the back.
When you think about the injury to Boogie Roberts as well, just earlier in this game, there was nobody more fired up to have an opportunity to play in this winner-go-home environment than Boogie. So I don't want to turn my pads in.
No, man.
I don't want to leave these guys.
And that's a reality for teams toward the end of the season, Jack. You know, you get used to going into the facility every single day. You get used to being with your brothers. You get used to going out to battle on game day. And in these playoff situations, that's when the finality of it all kind of comes into focus. And Boogie told us, yeah, man, I'm not trying to do that exit physical. I'm not trying to go home. There's still more things and more experiences I want to have with my guys. And it looks like, from the looks of things, with 2.5 minutes left, they're going to keep playing.
3rd and 10. Hand it off. Groshek. And he has swallowed him.
Stay here, stay here.
And that will take us to the 2-minute warning. And Pittsburgh has just played exactly the way they want to play.
Exactly. I was just about to say that 4-minute offense taking over.
This is the 2-minute
Two-minute warning. 4th quarter, the Pittsburgh Maulers looking like a playoff team before the USFL playoffs begin. So we got a 26-6 game, and Boogie Roberts is down on the sideline with Caroline.
Boogie, you suffered a right knee injury. You told me you'll undergo further testing, but why was it so important to you to come back out here and watch the end of this game?
Because we finna party in 2 minutes. You know, I wouldn't miss this for anything. As long as I can walk, I'm gonna be out here to support my teammates, because it's always we and not me. You get what I'm saying? So I just do my part, but it's all about the other guys that's out there, and I trust them fully. So I'm just ready to have fun and celebrate with my guys.
Thank you, Boogie. Jack?
Caroline, Boogie, thank you very much. Hopefully all reports will be positive this week, and we get to see Boogie next week in the playoffs. It would be amazing. After all he's meant to this team, season 1 and season 2, it just feels like he should be out there. This is great coverage here by Elmore and company, stopping the return man and Warren Newman inside the 5.
That's great coverage, but to go back to Boogie Roberts right there, a big reason why he comes back out while he's injured to support his team. That's leadership, Jack.
Yeah.
And this team couldn't have gone through this season at 3-6 and still haven't had an opportunity at the North Division championship and playoffs without great leadership from that guy right there. He galvanizes everybody on the defense. He galvanizes everybody on the entire team. And again, for them to see him go down and then come back out and walk around looking healthy, it provides a big boost to the team's morale.
Give credit as well to Christopher Okoye, Live Sagapolu, Nazir Player, who came in, played some big minutes when Boogie couldn't go. Looking for Kingston Davis, through his arms it goes.
That's a good play by Live Sagapolu right there. You see, he beat his guard in the minute he got in the backfield and said, you know what, I got back there a little too fast. He turned those 330 pounds and got to chasing Kingston Davis right there. Let's check him out. Again, you're just going to see him get in the backfield and watch how he turns to get ready to go run down the screen. Guys playing at a really, really high level. Almost not blockable. Almost. You can put 2 guys on him and block him, but definitely not one.
Johnson. Back to Davis. And there's not much there. So the upcoming games this weekend are going to be the deciding factors of what this playoff picture looks like. And this is what the games are. Birmingham and Memphis, New Orleans and Houston. Fox today is for the Memphis game, and then the Breakers in Houston over on FS1 tomorrow, 1 Eastern time. Philly and Michigan as well coming up tomorrow afternoon on Fox. Complete again to his running back, Kingston Davis, creating a little offense late.
And again, this right now the Generals offense, they're finding space because this Maulers defense, they're playing prevent, they're playing back, they're allowing all the underneath things to happen. Because when you can throw the ball short and then we have to run and make the tackle, it takes time off the clock. They're just not trying to give up the quick score.
Here is Johnson. He's going to run, step out right there about the 39-yard line. If you think about this season for the Generals, coming into the year, they were definitely one of, I would say, team everybody seemed to like, team everybody thought would be pretty darn good again. Of course, they lost Cavante Turpin, who was a key to them offensively. Lost their quarterback in Luis Perez, but Mike Riley seems to know what he's doing with this group. They just got caught in the most important game of the season here.
Yeah, they got caught. And one thing that Mike Riley told to us this week, he actually admitted it, that the reason why this offense and team really hadn't been in rhythm like he thought they would be is because he believes he screwed up the quarterback situation.
Yeah.
You know, and I thought that was very big of Coach Riley to admit that to us. He said we just aren't settled at that position. I thought Kyle Lauletta would give us a different chance, and then, you know, DeAndre got hurt, and then he was healthy, and then I left Lauletta in. But now DeAndre is the unquestioned starter, and I just think that uncertainty at the quarterback position caused some early issues with this offense and team that they just weren't able to get over.
They had that 5-game losing streak while they were going through exactly what you described and what Coach Riley described to us this week. It's Kingston Davis once again. But it's surprising to see them not in the playoffs. And Pittsburgh, to turn their whole season around, offensively especially, and early on in this game, it looked like they were just going to get beat up all afternoon by the defensive front of Jersey. They rallied and took the fight to them on that offensive line.
And again, every team that's out here watching this game right now, and I'm talking about teams on any level, no matter whether you're NFL, USFL, college football, or high school, if one side of the football is struggling, it's all about complementary football. And if it wasn't for this Maulers defense taking the ball away as many times as they did today, I'm not so sure we'd be looking at a game where the Pittsburgh Maulers are winning by 20 points. See what this call is.
False start. Number 60, offense. 5-yard penalty. First down. New Jersey has chosen to take the second timeout of the half in order to avoid a 10-second runoff. 30-second timeout.
See Cam Carter, the left tackle, number 60, just getting out of his stance a little early. They're going up against Von Taylor and Nasir Player all day. They're trying to get a head start on getting out of their stance so they don't get beat around the edge.
It felt like Nasir Player had the play of the game. Didn't he? That strip sack, get into the hands of Eli Walker for the touchdown. That was the moment. Pittsburgh never looked back. Johnson and another flag. Movement by New Jersey.
Yeah, this time it was on the right tackle.
False start. Number 76, offense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
So it is time for the Simply Spiked Player of the Game. It's the whole team.
Everybody.
Whole defensive front.
The whole defense, everybody. I mean, everybody from the defensive front to the second level to the third level. You see a safety getting a pick right here. And then again, Nasir Player, you just spoke about it, Jack. This play turned everything. It flipped the field, it flipped field position, and it gave confidence to the Maulers' entire team. You see Gilbert with another interception. Great job by this Darren Horton coach defense.
That was Zeno deep down the field, knocking that ball away.
Jaron, my apologies. I called him Darren. I'm thinking of somebody else, but it's Jaron Horton. My apologies. Zeno probably playing linebacker at the highest level in this league right now. Had 2 interceptions last week, some more big-time tackles today. Probably the lead candidate right now for Defensive Player of the Year.
There's Johnson to Victor. Victor, not quitting, takes it inside the 30. It's Elmore who got him on the ground. Be interesting to see if Boogie can go next week.
It will be interesting, and I really think this Maulers team, they need Boogie Roberts in the lineup. They need Boogie Roberts definitely, if not in the lineup, on the sideline. His energy, it's infectious. He's a guy that, you know, during training camp, you would love to be on his team because he gets you through those dog days of training camp, right?
Yeah.
The personality, the energy, the trash talking when you're going 11 on 11. And again, things like that's what makes the days go by. You definitely need a player like Boogie Roberts on your team.
The Hollywood career of Boogie's going to have to wait at least another week.
At least another week. At least another week.
Sounded like he had a few things lined up, though, when the season does wrap up, and that was important to him. He said he lost all that weight being on those sets. He was eating right, getting himself in shape for season number 2, but it's also a passion of his. You know, he described it, so you got to heave to the end zone here and wrap up this game that's going to fall incomplete. But he really described that as a key moment in his life. Said it was some dark days when the NFL didn't call after a great season in year 1, now season number 2, and we'll see if the NFL comes calling. He's deserved the right.
He definitely does, man. And the NFL is definitely where he wants to be. As you can see him starting to celebrate with his guys, as he told Caroline. I just want to celebrate with my guys. Good job by this Maulers team.
26-6. Never in doubt. The Pittsburgh Maulers, coached by Ray Horton, and the defensive group led by his son and Jaron Horton. They're going to have a great Father's Day coming up tomorrow. You see the respect between the two coaches.
I know you have. I appreciate that a lot.
They share this same hub of Canton, Ohio, so they're around each other all the time. A lot of the players live in the same apartment complex.
Was that a championship belt he had right there? Oh, my goodness. Caroline got to talk to him about that. Where did you get that championship belt from? I like it. I used to make championship belts with aluminum foil and pennies. Yeah,
Let's go down to Caroline.
This is our
Coach.
This is our Hub Victory Belt here. Coach Riley and myself, we had this for the Hub Victory. Whichever team won, it was been in their possession for a while. We got this, but the win was obviously more important for what it means.
Okay, so you won the Hub Victory Championship. You're going to the playoffs. What does that mean to this team and to you to do it with your son as your defensive coordinator?
Yeah, obviously Father's Day coming up tomorrow. Jaron's been talking about this for a while. But for me, I've been in big games before. It means more for what this team has done, coming from last place, the worst team in the USFL last year, to have resilience, to work hard. They would do whatever I asked them to do. They are unequivocally behind me, and I love these guys for that. They'll do anything I ask. And all we try to do is do it the right way with hard work, professionalism, and just go out and just basically keep our mouth shut and go to work.
Thanks so much, Coach. Congrats on the win.
See you next week.
Carolina coach, thank you. Some turnaround he led for the Pittsburgh Maulers. 26-6. And coming up next on USA, it's Any Given Sunday. Over on Fox, USFL continues with the Stallions taking on the Showboats. And then next Saturday, the USFL playoffs, they kick off with the North Division Championship on NBC, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. For Mike Robb, Caroline Pineda, our entire crew, Matt Marvin running the show, Jenny doing some amazing work. Jenny Glazer, she's awesome. Jack Collinsworth saying so long from Canton, Ohio. We're ready for the playoffs, starting to get it set in the USFL.